My next guest has worked as an economist, as a central banker at the South African Reserve Bank. She's also author of a book, reach over for it spontaneously, The Art of Money, How to Win the Wealth Game. It's top of the Amazon bestsellers list for wealth management and retirement planning. This is the MoneyMakers. I'm Bruce Whitfield and we're at the cutting edge. Tonight I'm joined by Dr Daleen Smal to discuss ways of managing money, to master strategies to increase overall wealth through passive income streams or by even starting a business. She doesn't frown on you starting a business, provided of course you make lots of money. But 40 years in the Reserve Bank. Were you there with the younger De Jong?
Yes.
Tinus De Jong, in that sort of era?
Yes, I started with Governor De Jong.
When we had the brown one rand
yes.
banknote with the dromedaris and the ships on it,
yes.
and when the rand was worth something.
Yes. And
that's a long time ago.
Yes. And for my 21st birthday, I received 21 1 rand notes numbered 1 to 21.
No.
Yeah.
Have you still got them?
Yes, I still do.
What are they worth?
I have no idea.
What do you mean you haven't had them valued yet?
No, they're sentimental value.
Okay,
I probably will never get rid of it.
But no, it's a wonderful legacy. I have. Yeah. I've just brought with me actually, and it's settled far too deep in my pocket. But you'll know what that is. I'm going to hold it up to the camera so the camera can pick it up. This is worth a lot of money. This. Do you recognise it? It's the first issue of the 1 rand coin. So they replaced these 1 rand coins. They've got an ounce of silver in them with the 1 rand notes when it became too expensive, I suppose, to produce these.
That's right.
So you don't come from this era of this is a 50-year-old 1 rand coin. This is before your time.
Not.
No, but I mean the history of our currency is so interesting. I mean, H.F. Verwoerd introduced decimalisation and the rand to South Africa when we left the Commonwealth in '61. You joined the Reserve Bank when?
1977.
1977.
Yeah,
what an
January
interesting
1977.
But what an interesting period. We were going through sanctions. We were going through really difficult times. After the Rubicon speech, we defaulted on our debt.
Yes.
And it puts today's problems, I suppose, in some kind of perspective. That although we're sitting on the brink of a possible downgrade, maybe it's not the end of the world as we imagine it is with our 21st century goggles on.
Yeah. Well, during my life in the Reserve Bank, we went through many crises. I mean, it's not. A crisis is not new. It's not something that just happened today. And you deal with it as it happens. As a policy maker, and the Reserve Bank will look at what is happening and then take a position. They're not speculating. The central bank will never speculate on things. But then you do your sound analysis and you look at the options available and you try and make the best decision given in the circumstances that you have to make that decision.
I know you're not going to answer this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Is the Reserve Bank today making sensible policy decisions?
I am sure they are, because I know the processes the bank goes through. And everything in life, if you have a system that is working, whether it's your personal finances, whether it's your business finances, whether it's your country finances, if you have a proper system functioning, you go through the processes. And I know the processes in the bank and the monetary policy process very well, and the lead up to that decision. And I know that the staff in the bank would have put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into their analysis and advising the Monetary Policy Committee on the decision. But ultimately, it's the MPC's decision.
But aren't you glad that in a low-growth, high-inflation environment, you don't have to worry about it anymore? You have to worry about the consequences of it, of course, but you don't have to be part of that decision-making process. Do you miss it?
In a sense, I do, because it's exciting. And that was one of the reasons why I stayed with the Reserve Bank that long, because every person, well, it's my belief that every person wants to feel that he or she matters, that what you do makes a difference. And in all those years in the bank, I felt that I was making a difference. It doesn't matter whether there was an old little grandma in the rural areas and doesn't even know about the existence of the bank. But if I do my utmost best to
if you're keeping monetary stability, that person's life is better.
That person's life is better. So, because people ask me, why didn't you start the business a long time ago? Because I believe that was where my contribution was.
Do you regret not doing this sooner, going in and becoming the consultant, becoming the educator, becoming the teacher that you've become?
No, I don't think so, because everything you do in life shapes you. And you are on the journey that you're on because you have to learn certain things, and that was just my journey that I was on. And I believed I made a difference, and I always tried to, do my utmost for the policymaker and the advice that I'm giving, always honest and with integrity, because the worst thing you can do is to lie for a policymaker.
Oh, yeah.
Because how in the world is the policymaker going to make a proper decision if he is not well informed? So as a technical advisor, you always have to be truthful. And even when I'm writing the book and when I'm talking to people now, you have to be truthful and tell that person. It doesn't matter whether that person believes you or likes what you're saying. You have to tell the truth as you see it.
But that's one of the hardest lessons. And let's talk about the book. Let's talk about money and the art of money. Because a lot of people think money is a mystery and money is maybe a science. But I think you encapsulate it really nicely, and you talk about it as an art, because there is no perfect way of managing money, growing wealth. There are many ways of doing it.
There are many ways, that's right.
Take me through the concept of the art of it.
It is also, I think, from my background in the central bank, where monetary policy is also an art. There's a science in the art.
Yeah.
Just as in personal finance and business finance, there's a science in the art. But if you look at the economy, it's made up of human beings, and human beings make decisions. And the results that you see in the economy is the result of the decisions of millions, billions of people.
Which is why sentiment is so important, because most people make decisions here rather than here.
Yeah. Well, the thought processes is, and that is why people struggle with money. It's because of their relationship with money. And it starts here as a thought, and that thought will create a feeling. And your feelings will drive your actions, and your actions will drive your results. So therefore, if your results are not what you want them to be, you have to reverse engineer and start with your thoughts. And it's very interesting in personal finance. Your relationship with money is established what you heard your parents and grandparents and people around you were saying.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Do you think money grows on trees or whatever? I'm not Rockefeller, I'm the other fella.
As a parent, I've used the trees one, I have to admit. And you have to stop yourself, because you are shaping future perceptions of the value of money. You talk about it as the wealth game. It's not a game, it's life and death, isn't it? Or is it a game?
Yes. You can make it life and death, and then you will have a terrible life. If it's a constant fight. But if you see it as a game and you make the best decisions, almost like a chess game or whatever, it takes the emotion, it takes the fear out of the game. And the game is about your decisions and about your mindset. And your mind is almost like a parachute. It only works when it's open.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your personal finances, in your business finance, and even in the national finances, you have to have an open mind. Because if you're a closed mind, you cannot see the opportunities, and you're too scared to take the opportunity. So you need to, first of all, and you will see in the book, the first aspect that I address is your relationship and your thoughts about money, because that has a profound impact on you.
The vast majority of people I talk to about investing, and people who come to me privately and go, should I invest because it's so risky? And I take 10 1 Rand coins out of my wallet, and I put them on the table, and I say, that's your 10 Rand today. By this time next year it's worth this much. And suddenly there's only 9 Rand left on the table, and they begin to understand the principle of risk.
Yes.
Risk is not taking action. Risk is sitting on the sidelines and hoping for a better future.
Yeah.
We're surrounded permanently by uncertainty. There's been no period in history where there has been a period of absolute certainty. There have been times of greater certainty and lesser certainty, but there's no great certainty in life.
There's nothing without risk. The crucial fact is that you need to understand the risk. And if you read Warren Buffett, he will talk about understand what you're investing your money in, understand the business model. How is that person making money to give you
But the vast
profit?
majority of people who do it don't have the time, or are so intimidated by the large company that their pension fund invests in, they don't think it's possible for them to do so, which I think is why you're quite a big proponent of passive investing, where
Yes.
you have to understand that this is an investment in companies that operate the economy. You don't need to understand the balance sheet of an Old Mutual or a Discovery in order to make the investment. If you're talking that level of investment, none of us will ever invest anything.
Yeah, but you need to understand what that person is doing, or at least a broad understanding how that company is going to make money, because that company has to pay you a dividend and to grow. So if you have no idea what that company is doing, your money can leave you very quickly.
Yeah, there's an argument, and some people will say, why the Reserve Bank's, the Treasury's guideline of 3 to 6%, the inflation target is too narrow. We need to have it from 5 to 8% rather than 3 to 6%. And they don't understand the slippery slope that causes.
Yes, because it's cumulative. That is what people need to understand about inflation as well. Just as compound interest is cumulative, from 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 to 16
and 32, it works the other way.
It works the other way. Inflation is just the other way and much, much quicker.
And so destructive.
Yes, and that is why I am also in favor of passive income. If you have a full-time job, obviously you can't have active business income because you're forced to do it passively. Because the risk in the current circumstances is that you can lose your job at the drop of a hat. And there goes your salary. So you need to have other income streams to help you. You also need it because at some point your working life is going to stop. If you don't want to work until you die, you have to have some income stream to sustain you.
People need to go to bed and go to sleep now. You're scaring them, Dr. Daleen Smal. Thanks very much indeed. The author, the mentor, the coach, the financial role model, ex-Reserve Bank economist, Dr. Daleen Smal. She is helping to change the world one mind and one heart at a time when it comes to money. No doubt there'll be lots of doubt and apprehension, starting something new and breaking free of the shackles of working for most of us. But you have to take action for yourself. And Dr. Daleen Smal does spell it out absolutely wonderfully in a very clear and easy to read and easy to understand book in the art of money. More Money Makers next time. Thank you for watching. Good night.